Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of the Sticky Wicket podcast. This is the weekly show about the wonderful world of international cricket by four fans of the game. I'm Joe. As always, I'm here joined by Marty. G'day, mate.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
And Cheese.
Morning, Joe.
And Mr. Ed Crowther. How are you?
Very good. Happy Easter.
And on the show this week, we're going to be giving you all an IPL update. If those of you who tuned in last week will know that we all picked two teams each to follow throughout the campaign. So we're going to give you a bit of an update on how our teams are doing. We're going to also talk about the other major tournament going on at the moment, which is the County Championship, which started last Friday. The second round of games has just started earlier this morning, so we're going to be talking about the major happenings there. We've also got a quiz this week from Cheese, and then a couple of other bits of news from around the world, including South Africa announcing a new 2020 tournament that is going to be starting up, which has just been announced, and also some unfortunate news coming out of Afghanistan about Mohammad Shahzad, who is the Associate Player of the Year last year, who unfortunately just failed a drugs test. We're going to talk about what that means for the game down there. As always, you can get in touch with us at CricketPod on Twitter and search for us on Facebook for the Sticky Wicket podcast, and please look for us on the SoundCloud or on iTunes or on various other platforms by searching for the Sticky Wicket Cricket podcast, and hit subscribe and you'll get this and every other podcast sent straight to your phone or tablet. So we'll start in India. The IPL has obviously got off to its fantastic sort of all glitz and all glamour and all flashing lights and all sorts of things start last week. There's already been at least one game a day, I think sometimes two. So I'll start with you, Marty. How are your two teams getting on?
Well, actually, a bit of a mixed bag, I think, Joe. For those who tuned in last week, you know that I was following the Sunrisers Hyderabad and also the Pune Supergiant. As we know, the first game was before last week's show, and Sunrisers had a good win over RCB. In the second game, which I thought was going to be a bit of a struggle after Cheese had a wonderful introduction about the Gujarat Lions. But turns out the Gujarat Lions are not very good. They're not very good at all.
It's not a good start.
And so, so Gujarat, they really struggled. They got 7 for 135, and then the Sunrisers just basically demolished them, to be honest.
It was none down, wasn't it?
It was one down for 140. So, Darwin, he went out for about 9, I think, and then Warner basically just took over. I think I said last week that Warner was in danger of struggling, but he's
playing well. I think he's second in the batting charts at the moment.
Yeah, but I think he got 75, I think it was. It was about 75 or 40 something, or something similar to that there. Who else was there? I think there was, I think it was Henriquez got 52 as well. So, basically took it away. There was a couple of stars of the ball for Sunrisers. One, of course, was the young Rashid Khan, the Afghanistan spinner, and he's a bit of a gun, actually, isn't he?
Brilliant, yeah.
He is. I mean, he got 3 for 19 off his 4. Also, Kumar, he did well as well with 2 for 21. So
was he leggy, that spinner, or was he?
Yeah,
Afghanistan leggy. Was he the? I know there was 2.
No, it was Mehmet. He was the off spinner who did us in the Test matches. That young lad, the other 8. He was an off spinner.
Yeah. So is
Mehmet? I think his name was something.
That lad Khan, is he the expensive one out of the 2? Because they paid a lot for one of them and not so much for the other.
To be honest, Joe, I'm not really sure exactly how much they paid for him, but I mean, he's certainly worth it.
Yeah,
every game he's played so far, and we'll get on to that. I mean, the next one here, which was basically against the Mumbai Indians, which they did struggle.
They certainly did.
They did, and look, I think it's fair to say after the first few games that Mumbai are looking like the strongest team by a fair way.
Thanks very much.
I think they're just really well balanced. And look, the Sunrisers, they just struggled a bit. They got 8 down for 158. What was disappointing about this was that both Warner and Darwin both made very decent scores. I think 49 and 48 respectively. But then the rest of the team was just a bit of a disaster, to be perfectly honest. And they just fell away. I'm not sure if anyone made. I think Cuddy made 20. But apart from that, I don't think anyone else made double figures. So, look, it was disappointing. Having said that, Rashid Khan again, he got 1 for 19 off his 4.
That's amazing.
Which is good. I mean,
against a good side.
I mean, when you're trying to defend a low score, and he did really well. We had Rahman who came back in. Mustafa Sir Rahman. I can actually get that right. So he's back in the side.
Get that right.
I think it's fair to say that he failed to capture the form that he showed last year. So he went for 34 off only 2.4 overs. So I think he's got a bit of work to do to get himself back up. So the Sunrisers look. I think they're looking okay. They're sitting in second spot in the table at the moment. So, pending the results of the games going on at the moment.
Still early days, isn't it?
Of course, net run rate of 1.156, which is okay. They've got a game against the Kolkata Knight Riders, which is on this afternoon, I believe. Or is it?
Yeah, there's another one this afternoon.
Oh, no, is it this afternoon? I'm not sure. Tomorrow, whatever it is. Then they've got the Kings 11 Punjab as well, which is back in Deccan, so which would be nice to get back into the home pitch as well. So I think if they get one win from those, I think they'll be pretty decently placed coming into probably the middle part of the tournament, which will be...
Tough game though, KKR are top.
No, I appreciate that. But I think I think what they've showed is if the bowlers can hold up and they can get a few runs from the middle order, I think they'll be a pretty hard team to stop. As long as Warner and Darwin can get them off to a good start, I think they'll be fine.
Warner looks good. He'll carry.
So look, that's the Sunrisers. Unfortunately, we've got Pune, who's the
you were highly fancy with Smith and Stokes.
I thought they look. You look at that team and I thought, that's going to be hard to stop. But unfortunately, they're a bit of a one-man band, I think it seems at the moment, because Smith basically took them home in that first game, which was against Mumbai. I'm not sure if anyone else watched this, but it was a wonderful performance from Smith. He just basically came straight off the Test series form. I thought at one point, I remember texting you, Joe.
84 not out off 54.
Yeah, and look, it was more the fact that right near the end he was struggling. Like he was really struggling, and I thought, they need to get quite a number of runs off that last over. And I think I texted you, Joe, and said I think they've bottled it here.
Yeah.
But no, he came off and he got 2 sixes in 2 balls, and just basically stole the show. And
he just there doesn't seem to be any stopping him in any format, does there?
Well, it doesn't. Well, actually, you say that, except for, of course, the reason he's missed the last game, which is when Pune in the third game there, which they lost quite badly. Unfortunately, they were playing the Delhi Daredevils in the third game. And were 108 all out, trying to chase 205, which is very disappointing.
Right.
And Smith missed that game. He missed the game because he had a dodgy curry or something that. So that was quite disappointing.
Bit of Delhi belly.
Yeah. So look, Pune, the second game they lost as well. Third game they got smashed. I think there's some real problems in that team.
Really?
I think there are. I think Stokes performed well in the second game, but didn't do enough to keep it into the
He's been a bit mixed, doesn't he? Yeah.
And his bowling in the third game, I think he got a bit of, he got absolutely smashed, unfortunately. So, look, he wasn't the only one that got smashed, but I think they probably rely on someone of his ilk to be doing a bit more. So,
well, for 1.7 million quid.
Yeah, I think so. So I think what they need, they're sitting second bottom. I think luckily Gujarat is he's going even worse, so at least they're not the worst performing team. But they play, I think the next game is Pune Gujarat, I think, as well.
Haven't quite got going yet, give us some time.
So look, that'll be an important game, because if they've got Gujarat, and then I think they've got, who is it after that? I think they might have RCB at Bengaluru. So look, if they can win one of those games, and let's face it, the Gujarat one's probably more likely.
Yeah.
If they can win that, they can get Smith back in the team, they can get Rahane firing again. I think they're probably going to be okay to at least maybe finish mid-table. I just after watching some of that last 2 games, I'm just not convinced about them. And Dhoni, and I think I think Dhoni, he just hasn't been playing well. And I saw Ganguly came out into the press and said that he thinks that he's no longer a good T20 player.
Wow.
Which I guess is a bit of sacrilege over there. So
it's a big statement from someone of Ganguly's sort of ilk, isn't it?
Well, I think it is, yeah. So look, I think that they need to get at least one win coming up for the next 2 games. If they do that, then hopefully they can build from there. But I think
the thing is, it's such a long tournament.
No, you're right.
There's 60 days of matches. I think there's something like 60 games in the whole tournament. So it goes.
So they play each other home and away in the group stages.
At least. There's loads of games, so it's a long tournament. So I think there's plenty of time to go. Yeah. So if you don't have you're almost better off peaking towards the end than at the start, I suppose. But yeah, the early signs aren't great, are they? From
no, they're not. But like I said, it's early stages, so they might go on a winning run and hopefully sneak into the finals.
Absolutely. Very good. Cheers, Matty. So, Cheese, how about your boys then? A bit of a mixed bag, I believe.
Same as Matty, but Matty's just given us the well-documented struggles of the Gujarat Lions, so thanks very much for that, Matty. But no, to be fair, I certainly don't have as much detail on the stats as Marty does, but from what I can see from Gujarat, we don't have enough bowlers.
Yeah.
I think our first 2 games was chased down 1-0, 1 down, like you said, and then none down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I was actually just 1 wicket. That's all they've taken.
They've taken 1 wicket in 2 games,
mate. It's not
what
ideal.
What is going on there?
Well, they've got a full Indian bowling attack. No, and none of them are actually Indian players, so they're obviously all just Indian domestic players, and they've stacked their team with batters. So you've got Finch, McCullum, Jason Roy, Dinesh Karthik, Dwayne Smith.
Right. Okay. So you've got Faulkner, haven't you, in the squad?
Yeah, Faulkner's in the squad, but he wasn't playing in the second game. He played in the first.
I did read something where they're talking about maybe mixing that up a little bit and bringing in Faulkner and maybe Ty as well.
Well, I think it's this thing that they've got all these gun top order batsmen, so they're putting them in, but unfortunately it hasn't.
You have
quite...
got Bhuvaneshwar Kumar though, who's brilliant.
Right. Okay. So take some wickets, please, mate.
But yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, and then oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong side there.
You're not getting confused with Boomerang, are you?
Praveen Kumar and
Praveen Kumar, right?
Which is probably not the same player.
So I think
Kulkarni,
I was reading something during the week that they, that maybe they're getting caught out a little bit by stacking their batting order too much. But in terms of individuals, Jason Roy's had a couple of 20s, I think, and he's actually looked really good doing it. Obviously, he's going.
He got 31 off 21 against. So
Kartik and Smith in the middle of order have held it together. McCallum's yet to fire, and also
Finch as well.
Finch is yet to fire. I want to throw it out there to the two English blokes. Jason Roy, can he be a Test cricketer?
Yeah,
I think so.
He can be.
Look at the way he hits his straight drive.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he could definitely.
Amazing.
I think he'd go well. I think he'd be a lot better than Hales at Test cricket.
Yeah.
Because those on drives, like Hales clears his front leg a bit, and when he played Test cricket.
Would you look at him as an opener then?
No.
I would look at him number 5.
Yeah, the problem is he needs to improve his play against spin because that's definitely his Achilles heel.
Right.
And when they open in the one-day stuff, or as soon as... That's what I was saying, he gets 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
He does the same similar thing for England, so they've started open. He needs to brush up on his play against spin. But, I mean, those straight drives...
They're beautiful. He's as good to watch as anyone.
They are proper...
Yeah, he's class.
Not like Hales is a bit more ungainly, I think. But Roy... Yeah, I think he'd go all right.
Aesthetically, he looks the best when he's playing straight. He's out of anyone.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. Yeah. So I've really enjoyed watching him bat. But moving on to more positive stuff. Kings 11 Punjab, mate, the Smokies.
Yeah.
And I've got to give it to you. I really do, Marty. Glenn Maxwell, I tell you, his captaincy's been really, really good. I've been extremely impressed with his captaincy. Not that I know too much about it, but
so you're a fan of the Big Show now.
Hey?
You're a fan of the Big Show now.
Mate, he's growing on me. He's getting there, but
despite losing by 8 wickets last night, by the way, to the KKR.
You're not going to win it. Yeah, we got to hide him from KKR. That's fair enough. But they're playing bloody well. They're playing very well, KKR. But Maxwell would be one of the better captains blowing around. I'm really impressed, his kind of temperament towards his bowlers. If a bowler gets hit really badly, he's not afraid to give them another crack and persist with them. And as a bowler, that's quite comforting. If you have a bad over, which can happen in 2020 cricket. If he's there and, right, no, mate, have another crack, it gives you a lot of confidence. So I've been impressed with him, and his batting's been phenomenal too.
But has been
very well.
I think, what did he get the other day? I think
he got 84 or something, didn't he?
Did he? I was talking about Mike. He's only got 44, but yeah.
Right.
He's just an impressive player.
In the first game, he got 84.
He is. I mean, they must have seen something in him in regard to his captaincy, whether it was like the on-field leadership or something like that, because you wouldn't give the captaincy to someone like that without any experience, without some good reason.
And Morgan's not playing, right?
Haven't picked him. Yeah. Haven't picked him. And he's leaving. I mean, he's leaving in the next week. Darren Sammy, they haven't played yet either.
Really?
David Miller, he's batting really well as well.
So I think he's top of the strike rate charts.
Is he? Oh, yeah. Manny was saying he did 466 the other day, strike rate. Like that.
32 off 9 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it was something absolutely ridiculous.
Just came in with about 3 overs left.
Yeah. So that they've been impressed with them, and I think they're still going to be a bit of a smoky for the tournament. But just to kind of finish it off, I will say I've realised the reason why I haven't been watching IPL for the last few years, because I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. I have been watching a lot more than just my 2 teams. But I've found it very, very difficult to believe that there's not fixing going on in this tournament. I've found it very hard to believe from all the cricket that I've seen, and I think the facts are stacked in the favour that there is. Some of the ways you see the batsmen get out, some of the wides you see the bowlers bowl, some of the fielding has been dreadful.
Well, the fielding's always been poor, though. And I think as soon as
even from international players.
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah.
From the guys that are being paid a lot of money, some of them, and again, it might be just my cynical view coming out, but I find it really hard to watch some of these things.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because I think whenever you, because of the history, especially with the IPL, I mean, there's been issues with, spot fixing or match fixing or whatever in lots of places around the world, but all the corruption and stuff that's already been found out in the past over the last few years, and that's not accusations that we're making there.
It's facts,
it's
and it
facts.
taints it a little bit.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? You've got to. The thing is about sport. Whenever there's any kind of fixing or cheating going on, if you can't believe what you're seeing in sport, it loses everything. It becomes like if anything preordained, you may as well watch wrestling or whatever. So you have to believe what you're seeing, and if there's any hint of that in your mind when you're watching it, it becomes very, very difficult to still get the same enjoyment level. It's very tough,
though, isn't it? Though, when you think about it, because you're basing this idea on, obviously, it's there in your mind already, and it's just purely because there's been some poor dismissals, there's been some poor fielding, a couple of drop catches, and you automatically sort of think that maybe there's something going on here, when really what it could be is just the pressure.
I tell you what gets me, Marty, when you see fields being changed, so you see fields being changed, let's pull up fine leg, or for a better example, let's push back long off, push back long on, have deep extra cover and have a deep mid wicket. And then they go and bowl short balls. And you're going, no, hold on, all your fielders are back there, why are you bowling short?
Double bluff.
It doesn't make any, but if you do it 3 balls in a row, it's no longer double bluff.
Yeah.
It happens, again, I'm sorry to be negative about it. I found it quite difficult. Not to say that I'm not enjoying the cricket, and I mean some of the performances have been outstanding, but
it's great to watch on the whole, isn't it?
It really is.
I know what you mean, but it's just it's very difficult, isn't it? Because you've got to, you always want to sort of, as I say, believe what you're seeing, and hopefully there's nothing in it, but
no, I don't think so.
But you never know.
I hear the Super Kings are back in next year, aren't they? They got booted out for a couple of years.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was fixing though. That was corruption of money.
Okay.
I think there's various other corruption scandals going on throughout the game as well. But
well, anyway, Kings 11 Punjab favourites for the tournament.
That's the bottom line. Very good. Cheers, cheese. And what about you, Crowther? How are your boys getting on? There's a live game going on right now. Actually, we're currently halfway through the RCB against Mumbai Indians game. They've just finished on 160 odd. I think Kohli got another good 60 back into form finally.
Yep, I have to admit I was on the mother of all stag do's over the last week, so I've been struggling to watch too much live cricket. But yeah, I'll bring you up to date nonetheless. So yeah, I've got RCB and Delhi Daredevils. I thought Royal Challengers was a plum draw for me.
Yeah.
But, it's not looking that way. Gale didn't even play in the second game for some reason.
Why was that?
It must be rotation. Watson played.
I think they're unbalanced, aren't they? Because they've got, as you were talking about, like the reason you thought that they were going to be a shoo-in was because of their top order.
Yeah.
And granted, some of the top order's been out. But I mean, if they're spending all their money and all their time on getting this amazing top order, and then it's the bowlers that you really require. You need the bowlers there too.
How do you leave out a guy who's played 288 2020 games? He's just verging on 10,000 runs. An average of 40.
That is extraordinary.
Not to mention the people that are turning up to watch him.
He's hit 735 sixes in 2020.
735 record, isn't it? Oh my god!
And you're rotating for Shane Watson. It's mental. If anybody out there knows why he was,
Shane
I presume he's just rested.
Shane Watson.
No. Shane Watson captained the first one. This is the second game. Gale didn't play in the second game.
Who captained?
That was probably Watson again, because this is Kohli's first game back,
was injured
today. Yeah,
so William Watson again, sure.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so it's been, it's been a. I thought, but yeah, then I was looking at my other team, Delhi Daredevils, who are doing marginally better, and it's more about bowling. When Delhi Daredevils beat the Super Giants, beat them real easy, bowled them out for just over 100. And you've got, got Zahir Khan, Cummings, and if you've got your bowling down, then it's happy days.
Tom Mills has been going okay, hasn't he?
He has been.
Mills has been going all right.
Yeah, he's been looking sharp again. He got a wicket the other day with a brilliant slower ball. Yeah. They're just so good, aren't they?
Well, if they lose this one, then it's 3 out of 4, and you're going to struggle to qualify already.
All that money as well.
Yeah.
But again, it's just putting the money in the wrong place. I was speaking to a friend that we all know, I won't use his name, who watches the IPL every day religiously for work, and he was sort of saying that it's just a commonly known thing with RCB is that they spend all their money on these batsmen, these amazing batsmen, but don't even do anything towards their bowling. The bowling is the most important part of the game because it's your defence. If you put 200 on each time and you can't defend that, then what's the point?
So in the last game we conceded over 200 and. Yeah, I mean,
in Bangalore, which is notoriously a good pitch anyway, which is their home ground, so obviously they're playing half the games there. Most batting sides should be able to get a big score in a flat track, so you're going to win with the best bowling side, you would think. It does seem a bit odd that they would
strange. But
just throw all their money.
Seem to be fair, he seems to be the best. So in the last game, he got 1 for 30 and 4, which was considerably better than what anybody else did.
Well, if they're getting smashed for 200 on, then that's pretty good.
So, he's going pretty well, which is good.
He had a couple of catches dropped in that game as well, I think. Down at deep phone. Yeah, here we go, catches again. He had a really simple one dropped down at deep, and he was he just worked over the batsman, had that catch dropped.
Really?
Gets another batsman on strike, and it's kind of, just loses everything for him.
Yeah.
I mean, you must be able to get him to be able to bowl 10 overs to play ODI cricket.
I mean, I think this has come up before, but you don't even need 10 off him because we play 6 bowlers because you've got Stokes. You probably need 6.
6 or to 8.
And he's bowling 4 in 2020. Surely you could get him in the
bowl
Champions
4
Trophy.
and 4. If you got him and Wood in the, would that be good?
Yeah, I mean, if he you need 6 or 7 overs off him in potentially 3 spells. A couple at the start, a couple in the middle, a couple at the end.
Does he swing it though? Like, is it,
no,
he's kind of too quick.
But it's when he comes back. So people have got it in their mind that this is gonna be quick and it's coming quick.
Yeah,
and
at the back of the hand.
Yeah.
But not sure if you can get away with that for 10 overs, I don't know, or 8 overs or
no. I'm
4
talking
overs.
about he bowls quick up front.
Fast,
when he comes back, he bowls it with the same arm action, and people are so early on it. It's because people think pace.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw a stat in percentage-wise, and when he comes back to bowl at the death, a higher percentage are actually slow balls and quick balls.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be pleasant.
Fair enough. Okay, so a bit of a mixed bag from your boys as well in the crowd. A bit of disappointment from the RCB by the sound of it.
Well, yeah, I think we've only just got 140 odd in this game, and they've got some pretty good batting lineup. So, I mean, it could be I don't know about all over, but we could be in a bit of trouble.
A slow start.
Well, it's a long tournament. I think they're notorious slow starters as well. So I think
that's true.
Once Cole is back into his groove and so forth, I think they'll go.
They'll have certainly missed him, especially after what he did last year in the IPL, which is just unbelievable. Yeah, very good. Okay, well, cheers, Ed. Right, so I'll finish off then. My 2 teams. I'm sitting pretty at the moment. So I've got Kolkata Knight Riders, who are currently top of the league. Have been playing very, very well, and Mumbai Indians, who are 4th, but I reckon in a pretty good spot.
Well, the most balanced team
at the moment.
It's quite amazing when you did the draw as well.
Well, I was just going to say that, buddy. He said we all picked teams. Well, hey, we didn't pick teams.
I had a strange feeling this might come up. Yeah, but I mean, having said that, I mean, I think KKR on odds were the 8th favourites. They were favourites to come last, and Gujarat were favourites to come first or second, I think, and they're bottom. So it just goes to show it's
early days.
Difficult to know. Well, exactly, yeah. So Kolkata have been playing very, very well, and I think Mumbai in particular. So they're playing right now. So they've got to chase 142 as we speak against RCB to win, and they've got. Their bowling lineup there is Harbhajan, Southey, McClenaghan. I think there's going to be. I think Mumbai might, if they win this, they'll probably go second as well. So I might be in the top 2 spots, which will.
Those are some good figures from McLennan. 2 for 20 or 4.
Yeah. So, they just seem pretty well balanced. I think Josh Butler, they've been opening him. It'd be interesting to see if they open him again.
Is he keeping wicket or?
He's in the field, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's fit.
Oh yeah, he just took a catch, didn't he? So he's just playing as a batter.
Yeah.
So I mean, he hasn't really fired that much just yet, but I think I'm just waiting for him to explode, and that'll be great. But I think, as we've said before, it's the
Pollard as well.
And has he even played?
Yeah, I just saw him field.
Yeah, but I'm not sure
he played okay the other day.
Did he play the second one? Did he? I didn't see him in the first one.
He's actually looking all right. I think even Butler though. I think he's been looking all right too. He hasn't got into any big scores yet, but he's made a decent start. I think
he hit a couple of 6s early on and then got out. I think in the last game. But we've got Rohit Sharma. Pollard was playing the last game, and then we've got the 2 Panjas in sort of lower middle order who always seem to get runs. They got runs for with the one that played for India against England. Played very, very well in the lower order there. So he's a very useful sort of lower order batsman. And
Harbhajan as well.
Exactly. I think he's 36 or something, Harbhajan, but he's still playing. Oh, you mean for batting, or just bowling?
No, probably bowling.
Yeah. I was going to say. I was going to say, but So I mean, they've just got a good side, and obviously they've Mitchell Johnson, who I haven't really seen anything of, but Malinga's been playing instead.
Is he bowling well?
Malinga's been bowling pretty well, and Southey as well. So they've got, like we say, they've got stars with both bat and ball, and you'd probably say sort of 3 or 4 of each really top quality guys.
How were they 8th favourite with that?
No, sorry, this is Mumbai.
Mumbai
were highly fancied.
Apologies.
Yeah. So that's those sides. But yeah, I mean Kolkata. they've been top of the league, and they've just been brilliant. So Galton Gambier, I think, was second in the run scoring table last year behind Coley. He was just miles ahead. But Gambier again, I don't know how old he is, but he got 72 off 49 last night. He got runs in the first game. It's amazing. So he was, to be fair, he's still one of the most expensive players. So he's obviously, I don't know if he's been doing it for the last 10 years in the
Doesn't
IPL.
even play for India anymore, does he?
No, he's knocking on now.
He hasn't played for India for a long time.
Yeah.
He got dropped quite controversially a few years back when he was actually batting really, really well. He was.
I remember against Australian Test cricket in 08-09.
Over there.
He suddenly got 300-400s in 4 or 5 games. Yeah, he just suddenly started playing awesome, yeah.
So they're good. I mean, they've got Chawla and Umesh Yadav as well, who's been playing really well recently.
He's a good player, that guy.
KKR, and Chris Wokes, who I think hasn't fired fully yet, but I think he's been his fairly sort of steady away self, which won't come as much as a surprise.
He's still cleanly shaven, I've seen him.
Yeah, exactly. He's still looking
Must
very
have found
smart.
a little shaver over there. Or
very, very nice. He's very handsome, isn't he?
Trent Bolt's been bowling brilliantly.
And Trent Bolt's been bowling well.
He's been getting frustrated though, Trent Bolt.
Mate, that was dreadful last night.
I've seen it more than a couple of occasions where he's had drop catches and his head goes down and geez, I wouldn't like to see him in the dressing room afterwards.
He's had a hard time. He really has.
Yeah. Wait till you play cricket with me, Marty.
So, so the KKR are absolutely the surprise bag, but I guess when they've got Gambier and a couple of good bowlers, and Narayan at the top of the order as well. So he's been opening the last 2 games and got a quick 30.
Why is he opening the batting?
Apparently he's done it quite a bit.
He did 3 times in the Big Bash.
He's a great bowler.
Yeah, that's right. He got runs in the Big Bash, didn't he?
Yeah, opening the batting.
And so he opened again last night and got a quick fire 30 odd, which is always handy at the top of the order.
Like an old school pinch hitter type.
Oh, I suppose so. Yeah, yeah, which is not a word you hear anymore, is it? But yeah. So again, I mean, I was surprised at how well they've been doing, but they could be the real dark horses. So hopefully in about a couple of hours' time, I'll be in the top 2. So I'm quite enjoying that. So
can I just say very quickly, what is going on with Johnny Bairstow's hair on the Sky?
So as we're recording, we've got the Sky Sports on, and it's half time at the RCB against Mumbai Indian games, and Bairstow's in the studio with. I mean, I don't know how it looks like a wave, doesn't it? A ginger wave crashing over his head.
Sort of orange block.
Like a brick on his head.
Did you used to have Johnny Bravo over in the UK? That's Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, he's the ginger version of that. Yeah.
Anyway.
So I think that's sort of the roundup for the IPL. So as always, we'll be keeping an eye on that for the following week. There'll be, I'm sure, a bit more talk on Twitter and stuff this week as the tournament goes on. But please get involved at Cricket Pod, and we'll be keeping an eye on the games from here on in. So we'll move things on. As I said, the County Championship started last Friday. We want to talk a little bit about it. There was a couple of very interesting results. Actually, it's always an exciting period for I think any cricket fan in England because you get there's a lot of talk before the season. How the holders are going to go, how the favourites are going to go, how the unfancied are going to go. But there's a lot of surprises last week. Surrey blew away Warwickshire.
Surrey are back, Joe.
Surrey are back. I concur.
There are quite a few fans with their picnics when I went to the gym this morning outside Vauxhall tube station. No, seriously, quite a serious mill of them. Yeah,
Footy came out and absolutely blew them away. And what did they make in their first innings? It was a disgraceful score.
Oh,
a 90 odd.
Yeah, Stoneman he got 150, I think. I know Trott had a really sort of good. Sort of almost back to the wall performance, but at the end of the day, they lost by innings and a run, and they've come out again this morning and just basically blown away.
What's the score?
Lancashire. So if they're now 5 for 91, I think Lancashire are, with Foote again getting 3 wickets.
Really?
Yeah.
Both the Curran boys have got 1 each as well.
Lancashire 91 for 5 on the first morning.
How old's Foote?
At lunch.
He's at 31.
He's about 30 now. So he was at Notts and then got released, went to Derby.
31, going on 32.
So he was always 12th man in the 2015 Ashes.
Yeah.
If he was 12th man pretty much every game.
He's a fast left armer, isn't he?
Then fast left arm, and then he signed for Surrey. And obviously, right, you've gone from Derby to Surrey, you definitely get picked now. Yeah. And then he got injured all season pretty much last year. But He could play Test cricket maybe. Yeah, I mean, he's something different. Yeah.
If you look at the highlights, and I encourage you to do so. Yeah. Like he looks like a good serious bowler.
He's got a fast arm. He's like Wasim Akram. He doesn't have a big bound. He kind of skips through. Yeah. But he's got a really fast.
Someone's going to be gunning for Anderson's spot, aren't they? So I mean, there's obviously ball blowing around as well as Wokes potentially as an opener. But
well, there's Wokes. Yeah, obviously depends on Wood.
I guess the question with footy, if he is 31 by the Ashes, he'll be 32.
How long can you keep bowling that quick?
Yeah, that's right. Well, and also, do you bring someone at that age for one series? I mean, how many series would he have if he's bowling that kind of pace?
Well, maybe not, but the Ashes is, pretty much a be-all and end-all, depending on who we've got available.
Well, play your best team, and then you can rebuild again. It's a natural place to start.
It's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, I think the Australian example where you had like a Ryan Harris who was brought in essentially at the end of his career. Yeah. He was obviously a gun. He was just kept getting injured. But at the same time, you're better off bringing in someone who's in their mid-20s who might have a...
But who, though? Not at that pace. We haven't got anyone. Apart from his current lads, maybe.
Overton at Somerset. I know he had injury problems again last year. Yeah. I don't think they're express.
No, I mean, I think
Overton is genuinely quick.
Yeah, and that's what you want, I think, in Test cricket is someone genuinely.
Well, Mark Wood,
especially down under. Yeah.
Well, you will. I mean, if you're bowling 130, you might go for 2 or 3 and over, but you're not going to get wickets.
I think that's the thing. I mean, but someone like Footer, if I think Wokes will obviously go and be favourite to start, depending on what happens with Mark Wood. I think everyone would love to see him in the side just because of his express pace. But whether he can last a 5-match series and whether Wokes would be effective down under. Foot, it might be good for a game or two. You never know. It might be quite interesting development.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't like to see Footy in an England team. Put it that way. I think a left armour who can move the ball a bit and that kind of pace. As Eddie said, with a fast arm, he's got the potential to take a few wickets. I mean, and that's not something we want to see. We like a good England sort of medium fast bowler.
About 80 miles an hour.
Yeah. Turn it up, Marty.
75, 80 miles an hour.
That swings at half a foot and you snick off 5 times in a row.
Well, not in Australia.
In England, not
in Australia. Yeah, so Surrey are looking very, very good. Yorkshire, the 2014 and 15 winners, are obviously trying to get back to winning ways this year. New captain, new coach, and actually we're looking pretty good for 3 days of their game against Hampshire. And then Hampshire, fair play to them, chased down 320 on the last day, which is no mean feat in April. I don't know what the sort of records are, but that's very, very impressive. So Hampshire ended up doing that.
I'm good to see Michael Carberry playing again after.
So Carberry, absolutely brilliant effort from him. He was that his first game back?
No, because he got 100 against one of the universities and got this massive standing ovation from the boundary.
How long has he been out for? Is it 2 years or is it just?
No, I think he started last season and then got diagnosed with cancer. He spent all winter battling it and managed to.
It's good to see him back, and he got them off to a solid start in their chase. He got 40 odd. Adams got a 72 and Vince 44 and Rousseau, who's the Kolkata lad, he got 40 odd as well. So their top 4 all got 40 plus each, and just put them up for a good stead. And Yorkshire just couldn't do it. They've Bresnan, a young lad Code, who's got 3 wickets this morning. So Yorkshire in a very good spot at lunch on the first day today. But with Patterson and Shaw and Rafiq, it's there's a couple of guys.
I'll tell you what, Pattinson last week, and speaking of for the Ashes coming up, he was looking good again. Like I tell you what, he came off the Victorian season.
Oh, James Pattinson. Sorry, I was talking about Steve Patterson. Yeah.
Okay,
he's a very different bowler. if you're talking about medium pacers who nick off, that's this guy. You're talking about a guy bowling 95. I'm talking
about James Pattinson.
Poor Leicester last week rocked up, and they played against Broad, Pattinson, Gurney, and Ball. It was a complete mismatch.
But it was, and I think I was just quite happy to happy to see with Pattinson anyway, just to come over here and do quite well. I mean, I think he's a pretty good pickup as an overseas player,
especially in Div 2.
Didn't Glenmorgan get rolled as well?
I mean, not Notts. If Notts don't go up this year, I don't know what to think about that.
What about Essex opening performance? Is that alright against Lancashire? Get a draw?
Yeah, I don't think that was
Was that
epic.
Redford or not? Yes,
Fairly high
It was
scoring.
It was a wonderful performance the last time.
Dan Lawrence
got
yeah.
150 on.
Yeah.
Is that that's a good start in Div 1? They haven't been in Div 1 for a long time, have they?
Nah, not for a while.
No, they came up last year, yeah.
I think they'll struggle.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, Ali Cook's just been announced as fit again, so he was available for the first 3 games, but he was actually, I think he had a hip injury last week, so he missed out. But he's back fit. I don't know if they're playing today, but he's certainly available for their next game if they're not playing right now.
I think they are.
Yes, they are actually. Yeah, Somerset at 95 for 2 against
Somerset,
Essex. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Middlesex 84 for 1 at lunch, and Warwickshire 73 for 5 against Yorkshire. What's happened to Warwickshire? I mean,
it's bizarre, isn't it?
Amazing.
They've got. I know Ed was saying last week that he thought they were one of the.
I thought they're a strong team. Well, they are a strong. They are a strong team.
Bell, Trott got 13. Bell got 11. Hayne got 1.
They've got good bowling. Ricky Clark's a decent all round, a good keeper. And you got Hayne Bell. They got a good team, but
Porterfield at the top as well.
It might be home as well too.
Might be this, like we're saying about Gale at Yorkshire, Troughton at Warwickshire. It might be They might be a bit too close and not far enough removed yet. And
they had Dougie. Who was the Warwickshire coach?
It was Dougie Brown.
For a long time, didn't they?
No, so Giles. Yeah, so Dougie Brown in at least 2 or 3 years. So Giles went to England, got sacked not long after, and then went to Lancashire.
Yeah.
But we were at the final last year, weren't we, Lords? They won the one-dayer, Dougie Brown.
Easy.
They didn't do great in the Championship, and then they fired him.
That was a dreadful game, that one.
And now Ashley Giles
So
is back
one-sided,
as
yeah.
director of cricket.
Yeah, Jimmy Troughton.
I know it's not
Troughton
good.
head coach.
as day-to-day coach.
I know it's not good to throw stones in glass houses, but Ashley Giles could do with going to the gym every. I didn't recognise him. Who's that guy? Oh. God, Ashley Giles.
That's a bit harsh, Cheese. So it is a bit a difficult one to call, really. I think the other thing about Div 1 is that it's there's only 9 teams. 2 go down again now, aren't they? So it's if you get off to a bad start and then you get some bad luck with the weather and stuff, you can easily find yourself in a relegation dogfight. As Nottinghamshire found out last year, and they weren't a bad enough side to go down, were they? But
how did Durham go?
Durham are playing Notts now. They just started. Durham are 68 for 4.
That'll be a good game. 68 for 4.
Yeah, Durham 68 for 4.
Jennings only got.
They won first game, didn't they, Durham?
No, this is their first game.
Oh, right. I don't think they played last week.
They were on the roster last week. But yeah, I mean, it's for Div 2 cricket. You've got sort of Jennings, Collingwood, Onions and Rushworth, and then you've got Pattinson and Ball and Lum and Hales. I mean, there's some good cricketers for Div 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why isn't Wood playing?
He is. Oh, sorry, Wood as well. Yeah,
he's playing as well, is he? Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
so I
good
mean, there's some. It's good. It's good standard for Div 2. That.
Yeah.
Butler's just got out for 2. Butler's gone for 2. That's not good news.
It must be quite interesting in Division 2, isn't there? Because there must be some very good teams and some. Well, not so good teams as well.
It's a bit more mixed than Div 1, certainly. It's a bit more sort of half and half. You've got some really good teams.
The disparity between Notts and Derbyshire is just light years. I mean, it's...
Yeah, that's right. One other thing I want to talk about the County Champs, there's been a few sort of stories come out this week about the availability of England players. And it's this sort of classic, difficult sort of scenario when you've got guys like Stokes and Butler and a few other Test players.
Broad.
In the IPL, I mean.
Oh, right, I thought you were talking about the game.
And then you've got guys unavailable. Yorkshire has started this morning. Johnny Besser's in the Sky Sports studio, as we've just seen on the TV here. Stuart Broad's not been allowed to play this week. I think he did play last week, didn't he?
Well, he did. And, I mean, they beat Leicester in less than 3 days. He's not done anything.
He bowled 21 overs last week, Stuart
Broad. I know,
Broad.
but he's not done anything for months. And
but I mean, that's nothing, though. That's what I'm saying. 21 overs in a whole game is nothing.
He should be playing. They've released him to play next week. There's no reason why he can't and shouldn't play 3... I mean,
it is a very, very long summer with England.
Yeah, but he's had 4 months off.
Yeah,
and
he needs to get match fit, surely.
And getting look, who's the legend? Bob Willis. He always says, right, back in my day, how did I get fit? I wasn't in the gym and I wasn't getting rested. I was running and I was bowling, and that's
I think for bowlers especially, being match fit is such a thing, because you're in the gym and everything, and I know you can do nets and things.
Especially for bowlers,
the sides and your back and everything. You've got to get overs under your belt. I think it's
a strange one. I understand what they're trying to do. I think that, if you look at England's summer, it's a long, not even summer and winter. It's a long time, and there's 2 extremely important Test series.
Yeah.
The weird thing I find about it is bring them back. and then rest them again? Why not rest them that extra week and then bring them back in? Because like you say, you need to get that momentum. So
but Broad's had 4 months.
You can't bring them in and bring them out and bring them in and bring them out, because as a bowler, you've got to get rhythm.
Yeah, just let them play.
Yeah,
There's no reason why. If Broad's not involved in the Champions Trophy, he should just keep playing county cricket, and then he's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I agree. The final story to come out of County Championship this week, actually, but just before we move on, is there's a story, I think it came out yesterday, with Middlesex sort of publicly opposed the new 2020 competition, which presumably they voted for in the first place to see more of, but then they came out yesterday and sort of said they're actually not really too sure about it. I don't know exactly what the phrasing was in the release. But
look, I think this one here, and I obviously have zero basis for saying this, but it seems very tactical. And as in, like, they've come out all of a sudden and said they're now going to vote against it. From everything that I've read, especially about the way that the ECB has gone about this whole idea, has been very political. In supposed to including the minor counties and so forth, and getting to the point where almost a few votes here and there aren't going to matter no matter what. I sort of wonder whether you see Middlesex this week, whether you see Surrey come out next week.
Yeah,
I'm sure Surrey will, and then maybe a few of the smaller counties will come out after that. And whether it is a bit of collusion in regard to trying to get a better deal either for themselves,
but maybe
or to scupper the whole thing.
They must probably make much more than 1.3 million. Surrey and Middlesex.
Well, but they're still going to have that competition, is the ECB's argument.
Yeah, but it'll be completely
Middlesex.
Well, will it though?
Because Middlesex don't, because it's not their ground.
They don't own the ground, so they hire the ground, don't they?
Well, I know, but those T20
but they're the sort of county where majority of players will get drafted, so they'll have nobody left.
Yeah, but at the same time, we've been to the Lords and the Oval on Thursday and Friday nights. Are they going to be empty now that players aren't there? I don't think there will.
I'm not sure
be.
A lot of people go to actually watch the game,
and that's exactly what I mean. They go there.
No,
for
but it
the
will
beer.
be. If it's a secondary competition, no one's going to go along to watch it.
I can guarantee there will still be a lot of people there on a Friday night at the Oval.
I think they all know that the other competition won't last long. I think that's the
maybe
thing.
that's the worry.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
It will be gone within a year or two. It's going to be you're 7 for 3.
Mumbai are falling
Why is McLennan batting at 4?
I don't know.
Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we shouldn't get distracted. But yeah, I think it's an interesting one because, maybe you're right, Ed. Maybe they're worried that the competition is just going to fall away.
I think everybody knows the
existing.
So the only reason it's being kept is to get the votes, and then some more shenanigans will happen, and it'll.
The thing is, it's still so far away. It's 2020 until it starts.
No, it is. I think that's why they think they can do this.
Yeah.
I think at the moment it's sort of been sold as if it's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
And I think that some of these counties who feel like they've got something to lose here. I think Middlesex is one. I think Surrey is one. I think quite a few of the smaller counties are as well. But they're going to look at this and say, look, we've got to do something about this. We'll at least have a fight to get a better result, because they might get 1.3 million. That's great, and it might pay off some debts. But they're not there just to pay.
But like you said,
they're there to play cricket.
They might be getting that already. From Surrey especially, they might be making 1.3 million.
They will be, I reckon, from all
their own back.
They'd be making more.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. All the hospitality. So that's why the teams that have come out and support Derbyshire, Leicestershire, Somerset, they won't be making 1.3.
No, so that's the current blast.
Yeah.
Surrey will be making hundreds of thousands every game.
Yeah.
I mean, that fills out that ground. Look, maybe not every
20,000 pretty much every Friday.
They fill out
lots of money behind the bar.
They fill out against Kent. They fill out against Middlesex.
They'll be making 3-4 million.
Even against Essex if they're playing that. I mean, look, people go there and they have 4 or 5 drinks. They have food. It's going to be
hat trick. It's a hat trick.
Really?
Yeah, it's a hat trick. Mumbai Indians are 7 for 4 against RCB now.
Yeah, but Mitchell McLennan.
Oh, we're backing it. We're backing it, RCB.
Look at that.
So anyway,
is that right?
Vittori shaved his beard off. What's going on? That's why we've been struggling. Get that beard back.
Yeah, sorry. Right. So we keep getting distracted by the cricket on television. But
is that Bishu? Who's got the hat trick?
No, Badri.
Yeah. Anyway,
that was a good googly that. Sorry.
Yeah, they can't see that. Right. So anyway, so it'll be interesting to see what unfolds over the next couple of years. But it's definitely a point of contention, I think, within county cricket. So moving on, quiz time.
Oh, well.
Cheese, you've got a quiz for us.
We are on. Okay. Yep. Sorry, I'll just bring it up. So we've just got a bunch of multi choice questions this week.
Okay.
3 each and a couple of tiebreakers. Hope we get to a tiebreaker because I've got an interesting one just to see if everybody's actually been watching the IPL.
Oh, right, okay.
But Ed, if you can,
I'll lose the tiebreaker. I can assure you that.
if you can take your eyes off the TV for half a second, Ed, you'll be first up, mate.
Pollard's biting in a floppy hat. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. Righto. First question: what is the maximum amount of people allowed on a cricket pitch at any one time? A 13, B 15, C 17, D 19.
Does that include like a drinks break or
Maximum at any time. Ooh, I had to think about this one too. I thought it was interesting.
15?
Final answer?
Yeah.
No, 17.
Really?
So not runners.
So yeah, presumably the drinks or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, but aren't runners are outlawed now, aren't they?
Only in internationals, I think. It probably depends.
I should have taken a second to think.
No, you're right. It'll be runners. Yeah.
I thought it might be,
point.
2 people to bring on the drinks or something like that.
No, because that'll mean during when the ball's live rather than dead. Because
true.
you can have loads of people come on the pitch.
It'd have to be runners.
Yeah, it'd be runners, yeah. That's a good question. I like that one.
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
That's good. Righto. 0, Ed, unfortunately.
Thanks for reminding me of that. It's brutal.
Joe, which team was the first to win a 50-over World Cup at home? West Indies, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, or India?
Sri Lanka.
Ooh, no, India.
Really?
Where did Sri Lanka win their World Cup?
96.
Yeah, where was that?
Sri Lanka.
No, it wasn't. It was in India.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was in
pretty
Sri Lanka.
Google wouldn't lie, would it? should we shoot this out?
I thought it was 96.
So everything on the internet is true.
Fair enough. I thought maybe it was shared and the final was in India or something like that.
Possibly,
I'm not
yeah.
sure.
Right, it was India.
Fair enough. In 2011, presumably.
Must have been, yeah. Marty, who holds the record for the highest individual...
It was jointly hosted between Pakistan, India and Sri Lanka.
Yeah, but where was the final?
So the final must have been in India, I guess.
But it's probably in India, wasn't it?
Did you hear that, Joe? Marty? Sorry.
No, I didn't know.
It's all right. Okay, all right. Who holds the record for the highest individual score in an ODI? Chris Gale, Rohit Sharma, Sachin Tendulkar, or Herschel Gibbs?
That's Rohit Sharma, isn't it?
Yeah.
Say his first name again, please.
Sorry about that.
Brilliant. See, I had trouble with names last week, and he's got it now. How did you know that? 'Cause I didn't know that.
Sorry?
Is it quite well known?
Yeah, I think I've just said it before.
Yeah.
We've probably had that. Cause
You got 256 or something, wasn't it?
in a one day.
Yeah. Extraordinary, yeah.
Wow. Okay, Ed, I've given you
So
another
Marty's
tough one.
winning.
Marty's winning.
As usual,
as they say.
You're on a hat-trick, aren't you? I think you're on a hat-trick of quiz wins. You've won the last 2.
I see you
So
put
Marty's on a hat-trick here,
Marty
so
Badrick.
we need to up our game here.
right, Ed, I'm sorry about this one too, mate, but what is the length of a professional cricket stump? 28 inches, 24 inches, 20 inches, or 22 inches? Mate, you've seen enough of them. Come on.
I've seen enough of them on the floor. Sorry, what were they going?
28, 24, 22, or 20 inches?
I don't know. 24?
No, 28.
28.
Did you know that, Joe?
No, I didn't.
I thought that's one that you'd know.
I think I would have guessed 28, actually.
Would you?
I don't know why.
I don't even know how long an inch is. It's getting dangerous, isn't it? Move on. Right.
Let's track on, yeah.
That's what she said.
Joe, who is the youngest batsman to score a Test century? Sachin Tendulkar, Hamilton Masakadza, Mohammad Ashraful, Mushtaq Mohammed.
Ooh. It might have been Mohammad Ashraful.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, Joe.
Well done, Joe.
He's about 16, wasn't he, I think?
I said Tendulkar, but then I learned that Tendulkar took a few years to score a ton. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't think he scored one until Old Trafford in 1991, I think.
And he was 19 by that time or something like that.
He started, I think he's the youngest ever to play, maybe.
Yeah, 16.
But, I think he scored his first-class century at 15, which is probably a record.
Wow.
But it took him a while to get a Test one, yeah.
How many other team games were on that pitch when he scored that 115? Marty, who topped the batting averages for England in the 2003 World Cup? Alex Stewart?
For England?
For England.
God, it wouldn't have been very high.
We got knocked out at group stage.
I don't have the average.
About
but
12 would have won this.
Alex Stewart, Paul Collingwood, Nasser Hussain, or Michael Vaughan?
I thought it would have been Nick Knight, but obviously not.
It was 03, that was South Africa, wasn't it? So,
I'm impressed, that's half a point for that, Marty.
Well, yeah, I remember watching a lot of Australia in that one because we did quite well. I'll just say Vaughan because he was probably the best player at the time.
I'd probably guess he's saying
Paul Collingwood.
Really? Collingwood, was it?
I didn't realise he was good that early. He'd only just finished up playing for Cornwall.
How many runs did he get, though?
15.
Yeah, true. True, very true. Righto, last round. It's Ed. You need to get on the board here, mate. One each to Joe and Marty. Which team did Sri Lanka dismiss for the lowest one-day total ever? Canada, Zimbabwe, Ireland, or Pakistan?
I have no idea.
They scored 35 in this game.
35.
That doesn't help me. I guess I'll have to go for Canada.
Ooh, Zimbabwe, unfortunately, mate.
Zimbabwe got bowled out for 35.
35, yeah.
Oh.
I think New Zealand's
I hope
bowled out for like 40
they were
before.
batting second, so the game would have lasted like an hour, wouldn't it? Otherwise,
That'd be miserable.
never chase them down in 2 overs.
It'd be so disappointing going along to watch
Just
it.
paying 40 quid for that.
It must have been around. Well, it can't have been around. I was going to say it must have been around that time that Sri Lanka won the World Cup, but Zimbabwe had quite a good team then.
Yeah, it's probably more likely to be
Streak and the flowers and all this.
So must have
more
been
likely to be recent.
recently. Yeah, Tatenda Taibu would have been captain or something like that. Joe, who won the Man of the Tournament in the 1992 Cricket World Cup? Mate, you love your cricket.
Oh, I know who this will be.
Javed Miandad, David Boone, Ian Botham, or Martin Crowe?
Okay. I thought it was Imran Khan.
Yeah, that would be the obvious choice.
1992. It was hosted in New Zealand. In New Zealand.
Yeah, that was the Wounded Tigers.
And Australia.
Thing,
Yeah.
No, just New Zealand.
The 92 World Cup? No, the final was in Melbourne.
talking about? Come on.
It was a joint thing, yeah.
Come on,
Jeez,
Cheese.
robbed it off us again.
Miandad, I don't think it was Botham.
Boone
He was a
or-
pinch hitter, wasn't he, back then?
Who? Botham.
Botham, yeah, he opened the batting for England.
Boone or Crowe?
Boone, Crowe, or Miandad? Oh, I'll go Crowe.
Yes, Joe. Yes.
I thought me and Dad would have been.
Everybody's got faith in Crowe.
I immediately thought Imran Khan.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was amazing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was, yeah.
I think it was more his captaincy than leadership than anything.
Fighting like wounded tigers.
Recorded tiger.
Or Wasim Akram.
Yeah.
Wasim Akram. In the final against Alan Lamb and Chris Lewis. My God.
Oh,
those
yeah,
two
that
balls,
outswinger
yeah.
was beautiful. Yeah, anyway.
No,
Right, 2-1. This for a tie break, Marty.
This is for a tie break.
So I'm gone.
You're out, mate.
I'm out.
Who has the highest individual score when batting at 11 in an ODI? Brad Hogg, Joel Garner, or Shoaib Akhtar? This individual scored 43 against England, and
No,
I shouldn't say where they scored it, should I? Because then
Don't say when.
Who was it? So you got Brad Holt.
Brad Hogg, Joel Garner, or Shoaib Akhtar?
Bragg Hon back at 11.
Is this who answers first one? Or?
No, it's Marty's.
No, this is
I'm
Marty's
going
final.
to say Brad Hogg.
Ooh, Shoaib Akhtar.
Unlucky.
So
That's Joe.
that's Joe.
Hat-trick miss, mate. Unlucky.
Well done, Joe. The tiebreaker was which IPL franchise does Glenn Maxwell play for?
What,
You guys,
right now?
no, you guys wouldn't have been able to get it, eh?
Kings 11 Punjab?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Well done, Joe. Did you know, Ed?
I thought it was Gujarat Lions.
Very good. Right,
Well done,
okay.
Joe.
Well, thanks for that, Cheese. Right, so there's a couple of other bits of news we wanted to talk about. South Africa have announced this week that they've opened up a new 2020 tournament. I know, Marty, you've been reading a little bit about it. It seems like this is to somehow rival, obviously, the other tournaments going on around the world, but it's yet another scheduling problem, isn't it?
Well, I think it is. Obviously, don't take too much time because we're getting near the end of the show. But I think the issue here is about how you squeeze it in. Now, obviously, South Africa has the same summer as Australia does, and there's often when Australia tours South Africa, that has to be done in February, March, and that's not a bad time to tour over there, to be honest. So that's probably the only realistic time in which they could have a 6-week tournament, because the Big Bash is going to go all the way through until the end of January into maybe the start of Feb, and the IPL starts the end of March, April. So they're going to have to try and squeeze in between these two competitions. Now, I know they've signed up a number of good players now. I think it was 8 they announced, was it this morning or yesterday,
Right.
including Gale, McCullum, Pollard, Roy, and a few others as well.
Wow.
So they've also got some big names. I just don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to literally finish the Big Bash, fly across to South Africa, and basically start playing straight away and then go straight to the IPL?
When's the Caribbean one?
That's later, I think, isn't it?
later in the year, I think.
That's
it
probably
is.
May, June or something.
So you're basically going to have Big Bash, South Africa, IPL,
CPL.
Caribbean.
The Pakistan one as well.
England.
Bangladesh.
Oh my
Uh,
god!
Yeah,
Literally,
Bangladesh, England. I mean, it's just. I mean, you could literally.
Where's our
be.
Test cricket going to be?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the details of this. I mean, they're clearly trying to do this to get in before the England one.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to copy the same thing. They're going to have the draft and so forth, and
it's city-based,
and the
presumably.
city-based as well.
Yeah.
So I think I can understand why they're doing it. They're also trying to do it, I think, to try and protect some of their players leaving under Kolpak.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, has been a
So
big issue of late.
that's going to be that they're going to try and entice them to stay in South Africa by earning good money. But if it's out of season,
well,
then-
when you watch South African cricket, especially Test cricket, it's so depressing to watch those empty stands.
Yeah, it is,
It just is, and
Yeah.
I know that when they have the shorter forms of the game, they do get crowds back in the game. So if they can start filling out some of those stadiums and getting the interest back into the game, it can only be good for South African cricket.
I
Also,
think in terms of the quality of cricket that they'll be able to get, I think it'll be second to the Big Bash purely because the first class cricket in South Africa is strong. Like there's very good cricket. I'm not sure if you guys saw any of the Ram Slam or whatever they call it,
No.
and they do play all the one day stuff. Quite a lot of it over here on TV. It's good cricket, very
Really?
very good cricket. So I think that'll be a good competition to watch.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess they've got to do something. They've been leaking players for the Kolpaks and everything else. So,
I mean, it's a funny idea though, isn't it? Because all of these T20 competitions rely on overseas players to make them kind of viable. Because you want that kind of external international flavour, and generally that comes down to the same players. So how often can these players just keep going off of these different ones? I mean, it's almost like the ICC needs to almost step in and say like a maximum of 2 per team or something like that to at least protect the local players and not to dilute the actual.
Will there be a quota?
Product.
I assume there will be. And oh, sorry, that sort of quota.
Yeah, the quota of dark
Coloured or black players, that's an interesting question, actually.
And a good point. I don't know whether it's been covered. I imagine that would be. I mean, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
That
Would West Indians fall into that quota?
No, they're
No.
overseas.
You've got to be South African.
No, it's locals.
Yeah.
It would come down to a quota of the local players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose on that front, that might work, better towards bringing up a kind of a new generation of South African cricketers from the sort of poorer, more disadvantaged areas, which is what they're trying to gun for in the national team, isn't it? So hopefully that'll help. So fingers crossed on that. But anyway, I think that's just about all we've got time for this week. As always, you can get in touch with us at Cricket Pod on Twitter. Please search for us on the SoundCloud on iTunes. Please leave us a review on iTunes. It's very helpful to get more listeners into the podcast. But for this week, I think that's it from me. Thanks very much. And from Marty.
Thank you, Joe.
And thanks, Cheese.
Joe, have a great Easter.
Thanks, Ed.
Cheers, thank you.
And thanks, everyone. Goodbye.